Hey guys, welcome to Ultimate Bow Live with Sensei Nathan. Hope you guys are ready for an awesome class today. So we're going to start off, guys, by warming up. So in our warm up today, keep in mind, guys, that I'm going to be doing some line drilling to warm us up. If you don't have that kind of space, just work on it statically, switch your hands when I do. Everything's going to be awesome. Hope you guys are in for a great workout. Okay, we're going to start things off, guys. I'm just going to be moving back and forth across the room. And what I'm going to be doing is working on my flourish, okay? So I'm just going to be taking baby steps forward, flourishing that bow as I go across. I just want to kind of warm up my wrists. So I'm going in a right dominant to start. And when I go back and forth, I'm going to switch my grips every time, okay? So I'm just going to switch again, and I'm just going to be moving across the room. Just nice and easy. Like I said, guys, if you don't have the space, just practice on the spot statically. Okay, I'm going to move into a right dominant, and I'm going to actually change up my angle a little bit. I'm going to be coming right for you guys. Moving in, nice and easy. Coming across, coming right at you guys. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go back the other way. Just nice, easy baby steps, guys. As we go across, we're going to go across the room one more time. Okay, so just nice and easy. Try and stay on a nice straight line. Keep that bow in nice and tight against your body. At the same time, we want to make sure that we're not clipping our legs, because that certainly can happen when you're getting that bow too tight. Nice and easy, moving across. Good work, guys. Okay, next one we're going to work on, guys, is we're going to be doing a front thrust, okay? So front thrust, we want to make sure we have a nice angle of the bow. We want it to be nice and horizontal, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to thrust in a nice deep stance. I'm going to switch my grip, thrust, okay? Notice every time I'm keeping my feet forward in a nice long stance. So I'm going to switch, thrust, 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 and I'm going to switch sides, going back into that left dominant, and thrust, and switch, thrust. Have a nice strong exhale, guys, when you go through. This is not only good for warming ourselves up, it's actually really nice for working on using different grips, transitioning in between the two. Okay, I'm going to be coming right at you guys now. And thrust. Switch, thrust. If you're having difficulties breaking down that movement, just take it nice and easy, make your switch, then make your thrust. Thrust, make my switch, thrust, make my switch, thrust. We're going to go one more time, guys, across the room and back. Then we're going to work on our next skill. Thrust. Thrust. When I was first learning thrust, one of the things, guys, that I really struggled with was making sure that my stance was long enough. Quite often when I'd go into that thrust, it would just be like a forward stance. We really want to try and emphasize that it's in that long front stance, okay? A couple more. On our way back. Good work, guys. Next one, we're going to be doing some uppercuts. Now keep in mind when we're doing that uppercut, we want a nice rowing motion, kind of like a windmill, okay? So my backhand is pulling as my front hand is pulling, okay? So I got a push-pull motion as I go, okay? So the way this one's going to work, I'm going to step into my uppercut, and it's going to be the same as thrust. I'm just going to switch my hands, step into my uppercut, switch. I'm going to try and make sure I'm getting my hip rotation in there too. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're getting those hips into it. Uppercuts may seem fairly awkward to start. The more you do them, the more comfortable it's going to feel. That uppercut should be coming straight up that center line, guys. Good. We're gonna go back. When I do that uppercut, guys, if you'll notice, I'm kind of stopping that bow right in line with my eye level. So we don't want to bring the bow way up like that, okay? We want to make sure it's a nice, clean uppercut. Coming right at you guys now. So if you're struggling, like I said, with that footwork, make your switch first and then your hand transition. Sorry, your hand transition, then the strike. One more time there and back, guys. Lots of power. It's okay to kind of go slow when you're warming up. Once you get those muscles going, really focus on getting some good power to get a good sweat going, get that blood pumping. One more time there back, and then we're going to switch it up. Good work, guys. Shake that one out. Next one we're going to work on, we're going to do front thrust, moving there and back, okay? Sorry, not front thrust, overhead front strike. So for our overhead front strike, we want to make sure we have that bow nice and horizontal. We're sliding that hand back. As we strike, I got a nice angle on the bow. Together with me, guys. Switch. Remember, guys, when we're doing these line drills, when you're first learning, make that switch and then focus on the footwork. As you get more comfortable with it, you'll be able to do them together seamlessly at the same time. And switch. There and back again, guys. Good work. I'm going to be coming right at you guys now. Ready? Together with me. One more. Coming right at you. If you'll notice, guys, when I'm doing those strikes, I'm really making sure I have nice posture in my back. I'm not leaning down into it. I'm nice and upright. That bow has a nice angle about it, okay? Let's grab a quick 5-second water, guys. Then we're gonna get into the meat of the class. Just a quick water break for us. Good work, guys. Okay. First one we're gonna work on, it's called the 3-point strike, okay? So it's basically what that is we're going to be striking with 3 points of the bow. I'm going to be starting in a left dominant stance, a left fighting stance, a right dominant grip. So if you'll notice, I'm kind of off balance, okay? So it's what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across with an overhead rib strike, okay? That's my first movement. Overhead rib strike as I lift my back knee, okay? So I'm going to come across, rib strike, chin strike, overhead front strike. So I'm striking 3 points with the bow, okay? Different angle for you guys. So I'm in a left fighting stance, right dominant, and I bring up my knee as I do my overhead rib strike, chin strike, overhead front strike, okay? One more time. 1, 2, 3, okay? Other angle. Again, I bring up my knee as I do that overhead rib strike. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, one more different angle for you guys. Left fighting stance, right dominant. I come around, 1, 2, as I step down, I move into my overhead front strike. I do that so that the momentum helps me with the strike, okay? Again, I'm going to come across, 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to practice these statically. So you can keep going line drilling if you want. I'm going to give you guys some various angles that we're going to be practicing this one on. Okay. So this is a follow along, guys. Make sure you get up off the couch, put that iPhone or whatever into big screen mode and watch along on the TV as you practice. And number one. Really focusing, guys, on nice, clean, sharp technique when we do this one. I'm just going to be giving you guys different angles every time. We're going to do right dominant, then we're going to switch to left dominant. And again. Remember, guys, when you're finishing that strike, it's really important that I'm coming down as I finish the strike. I want to time it that way so that it adds a little bit more power. It's also going to sharpen that technique, okay? A few more with me on this side. Every movement really needs to be precise. We don't want to rush through any of them, okay? We really are focusing on technique this class. Okay, we're going to switch to a left dominant now. Left dominant may feel a little awkward for those of us that are right-handed, so it just takes a little bit extra practice, okay? So for left dominant, I'm holding the bow with my left hand, okay? But I'm going to get into a right fighting stance. It's the exact opposite of the one we were just doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around, overhead rib strike, chin strike, overhead front strike, okay? Again, I'm in that off-balance stance, right fighting stance, left dominant. 1, 2, sliding forward, 3, okay? One more, and then we're going to change directions. 1, 2, 3. Really focusing on a nice, strong stance at the end, okay? With me, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and rib, chin, overhead front strike. If you guys are looking to mix up the training a little bit, we can always line drill this one, and the way you do that is you come across, and then all I do is I switch, just like we were before. So it's basically, you're just switching your stance, sorry, your grip. You don't even need to switch your stance on this one, guys, because it's that off-center stance. Off-center stance. Tongue twister for me. Okay, we're going to go back the other way, keeping in mind if I'm in right dominant, I need to be in a left stance. And together with me, we're just going to go one more time back. And switch hands. Switch hands. Switch. And keep in mind, guys, that bow speed is really important on this strike. It's meant to be like a flurry of strikes, but we don't want them to blend together. We still want definition in between each technique. Hope you guys enjoyed that workout on that one. The next one we're going to work on is going to be a 360 spinning overhead rib strike, okay? So the way that one looks, again, we're in that off-balance stance, okay? It's kind of the theme of our workout today. So what I'm going to do is I'm in a right dominant with a left fighting stance. I'm going to come around, rib strike. Now I want to try, my stance was a little bit linear on that one, is what I want to try and do is get it so that when I land, my feet are shoulder width apart. Now that can be tricky on this one. It takes a lot of practice. So what I do is I have the benefit of having the seams in my mats. So I'm going to try and follow along on the seams. So this one works nicely on a line drill. You can also do it statically as well. I'm going to do the first few statically, and we're just going to go from there. So I'm in that off-balance stance, okay? I'm in a left fighting stance, right dominant. I'm going to pick up my back right foot as I bring the bow over my head. Bringing the bow over my head, I'm now in a right fighting stance, and I do a reverse rib strike. So I'm keeping that bow up, and it's coming down. Really, the whole momentum of my body is moving into this strike. It's meant to deliver with a lot of force, okay? So again, when we want to prep this one to get ready to do it, I'm in a left fighting stance, right dominant hold. I bring up the bow. I'm going to take my right foot coming around. Okay, I'm now shoulder width apart, and I follow through with the strike. Now, the best way to break this one down, guys, is for sure breaking it down piece by piece, okay? So the way we do that is I start in that off-balance stance, I bring the bow up. Now I do my footwork rotation. My left foot, which is the front foot, is going to pivot, or is my pivoting foot. My right foot comes back around, rib strike. Another angle for you guys. Okay, this is my left foot here. Okay, is what I'm going to do. Is my right foot's going to swing around towards my backside. Okay, I'm here. I bring the bow up, spinning around, rib strike. Okay, so really focusing on the footwork. It's key that we land that one in a shoulder width stance. Okay, we don't want to be on a linear line. We'll have no balance when we do that. Okay, we're going to cycle through this one just on our own. Okay, really looking at getting some nice efficiency with it. If you're just learning this one for the first time, take your time with it and really focus on nice footwork on this one. It really does help polish that technique. Okay, together with me and go. Okay, I'm just going to give you guys various different angles. Ooh, Sensei Nathan loses his balance sometimes too. Good, and give you guys a few on this angle. Really try and stick that when you land it. Makes it look all the more impressive. And we're going to do a few moving across the room. And switch. If you find that you're getting dizzy on this one, guys, switch your grip, switch your stance, okay? So you don't want to keep going the same direction if you're starting to get a little bit dizzy. It's kind of like you'll be able to unwind yourself. Okay, we're going to go back this way, and we're going to switch grips. Together with me, guys, and across. We want that rib strike to be coming straight across. We don't want it chopping down, okay? Good work, guys. Okay, we're going to go left dominant, right fighting stance. Okay, so the same footwork applies, only it's opposite. So my right foot is going to be my pivoting point. I'm going to turn my left back shoulder around as I come around. So I'm going to bring that bow up, step around, so keep my balance so that I'm in that shoulder width stance, come across for the rib strike. As I get more comfortable with it, I'm going to piece that all together, okay? Different angle for you guys. Left dominant, right fighting stance. I come up and around, rib strike. It's okay to go slow to start this one when we're first learning it. There's a lot of mechanics involved with this one. Once you kind of master it, it feels really satisfying to be able to pull this one off. Okay, right fighting stance, left dominant, coming around, rib strike. Again, just nice and easy, guys. Getting that flow, okay? Get that bow up nice and high and come around for the rib strike, okay? We're gonna work our way across the room a couple times. Keeping in mind, I'm always in that off-balance stance to start, okay? And I'm turning my back shoulder around behind me, okay? And go. And switch. We wanna make sure that bow is coming in nice and horizontal, guys. The faster you can use your arms to leverage it across, the harder the strike. It's always nice when you're working on this one. Once you can start hearing the bow cutting through the air, you really start to understand the humble power of the bow. It's such a modest weapon, so powerful, pairs up so well against every other weapon. I had a really interesting conversation with a student the other day about how bow it's really like the second oldest weapon in the world, second to rock, of course. So, you know, it's highly accessible. You can find a stick on the ground anywhere. So, and there's some pretty fun things that we can do with it. Next thing we're going to work on, we're going to piece this into a combination now, okay? So the way this one's going to work, we're still going to work on that off-center stance. Okay, so I'm in a left fighting stance, right dominant. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a front view to start. Okay, and as what we're going to do is we're going to go rib, chin, overhead front strike. We're going to land that one in a cross stance. Okay, so when I finish, depending which stance I'm in, my front leg calf should be pushing against my back leg shin. Okay, so we don't want the stance too far apart. Those feet should be almost in a plie position, okay? So anyone with a dance background, you'll know exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a different view. Again, I'm starting in a right dominant with a left fighting stance. I'm going to do the exact same spin that we were working on, coming around, making sure it's shoulder width. Once I complete that strike, I'm going to quickly bring the heel side of my bow up for a chin strike. Then I'm going to take my back foot and cross it over the front foot as I do my overhead front strike. Now, keeping in mind, when I do my overhead front strike, I don't want to forget about the mechanic where I just slide that hand back ever so slightly. This is the angle the bow should finish. A common tendency is that the bow comes right up into the armpit, okay? We want to make sure that it's finishing with that hand slide, okay? So really, this one we're going to start slow. And then we're going to just gradually build up our coordination in it. So I'm going to start in that left fighting stance, right dominant, breaking it down piece by piece, guys. I'm coming around, rib strike, 360, chin, stepping forward with my back foot, overhead front strike. Now, if you'll notice my overhead front strike, the bow is quite extended out. So if I don't slide my hand, it kind of gets tucked in and down. I actually lose some of the angle on it when I do that, okay? We're going to do a couple more. We're gradually going to increase our pace, guys. So I'm starting in a left fighting stance, right dominant. I'm going to come around, rib, chin, overhead front strike, okay? Making sure I'm in a nice, clean cross stance, okay? Give you guys a different angle, okay? In that fighting stance, I come around, 1, 2, 3. That's one of the ways that I break it down. I count it out. I could also say rib, chin, overhead, okay? That's another way that I like to do it. It's just another level of reinforcement that I use, okay? So you can also follow along a seam if you happen to have one. If you don't, just use your best to make an imaginary one. So I'm going to come around, rib, chin, overhead front strike, okay? Again, rib, chin, overhead front strike. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to switch directions. We're going to still keep working on that same hand, okay? Just giving you guys some different vantage points, okay? So I'm still in that left fighting stance, right dominant hold. I'm going to come around, rib, chin, overhead front strike. Notice the footwork, okay? I'm really making sure that I pay attention every single time to making sure that I'm in a nice cross stance, okay? The whole purpose of this technique is it's really illustrating the traditional aspect of the strike, okay? Left fighting stance, right dominant. Good work, guys. Stay with me now. Different angle. We're gonna do some at regular speed now, guys. Stay with me now. Couple facing you guys now, okay? In that stance, always make sure you take the time to get set up. Good work. Okay, we're going to switch hands. I'm right-handed, so the left three-point is, this combo feels a little bit awkward sometimes. We'll go through it step by step. Okay, I'm going to start this way so you guys can follow along. I'm in a right fighting stance, left dominant, okay? So I'm going to make my spin, turning my back shoulder, coming around, rib strike, chin strike, take my back foot, cross it over the front, overhead front strike, okay? There should be a little bit of a bend in my knees, okay? Just kind of gives you that balance that we're looking for, okay? Again, coming across, right fighting stance, left dominant, turning my left shoulder to my backside, coming around, rib, chin, overhead front strike. Now when I'm doing that chin strike, guys, all I'm doing is I'm levering the bow. So don't just push it up with your bottom hand. Use the top hand to assist. It's going to increase your power and your bow speed. So it's basically twice as powerful if you're using both hands. Again, we're in that left fighting stance, right dominant. These are tongue twisters for me, guys. Coming around, rib, chin, making sure that I lever that bow, cross stance, overhead front strike, okay? I'm gonna do some this way. We're in that right fighting stance, left dominant, coming around, 1, 2, 3. I'm still sliding that hand back too, guys, keep that in mind. Okay, I'm using this as my gauge. Takes lots of practice to make it look pretty, okay? We don't practice till we get it right. We practice till we don't get it wrong, okay? Different vantage point for you guys. Going in a right fighting stance, left dominant. Last one, guys, and then we're going to do a challenge. Students versus Sensei Nathan with a little bit of a Taekwondo touch. And 2 more. And last one, guys. Good work, guys. Let's shake it out. We're going to grab a 5-second water, okay? 5-second water. And then we're going to do a bit of a balancing test. Got my water. Okay. Now, for students versus Sensei Nathan with our Taekwondo touch today, we're going to have 2 options, okay? Option number 1 is going to be empty hand, okay? So put your bows away. You can do a front snap kick. You're going to move across the room as you're doing a front snap kick, okay? For those that feel they're a little bit more modified or advanced, you're going to work a cut kick across the room. Now the key on this one, guys, when I'm doing my cut kick, I want it so that it's like my leg is pulling me across the room, okay? So correct cut kick, incorrect cut kick. If you guys notice the difference, my hop and kick are at the same time. The reason I do that is because I'm advancing and I want that power behind me, and I'm not going to waste any energy or movement, okay? So, name of the game. We're going to pick a side of the room. We're going to go right-legged there, left-legged back, okay? If you don't have the space, you're going to train on the spot, and you're just going to cut kick, okay? Now, the cut kick's a little bit easier when you do it statically, so if you do have the room, try and make sure that you're practicing, okay? So, in the comments, let me know how many times your foot touches. Hopefully, my foot doesn't touch at all. We'll see. Okay, you guys ready? You're going to get into your fighting stance, whatever your preferred method is, okay? We're going to cut kick across that room, okay? I'm going to start in between, and I'm going to go all the way through to the end, okay? And together with me, and go. Left side. Make sure those kicks are waist high, guys. Okay, now if you did one, let's do the other. Front snap kicks with a hop, okay? It's gonna be off the front leg, okay? Just for balance, okay? And go. Try and keep that knee waist high. Oh, those were sloppy. Great work today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our brief but very tiring workout today. If you guys want to train with me, look me up, Global Martial Arts. We have a great community, and I love training with everyone. Message me anytime, guys. It was a great class. Let's bow out, and we'll check out the comments for a few minutes. Attention, bow. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for training with me. Any questions for me, guys? Thanks, Sean. As you can see, I'm sweating as per usual. How'd you do on the cut kicks drill, Sean? I know it's more of a Taekwondo method. I'm just curious how you made out on that one. Feel free to message or not. It's up to you, sir. No pressure. Okay, guys. Yeah, no problem, sir. I'm glad you could make the class. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, Sean. Yeah, you want to be careful doing cut kicks on a gravel driveway. Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you had a good sweat, sir. It doesn't take me much to sweat, guys. So when I'm going through my training, as you can see, I'm pouring pretty good right now. Every time we're training, when I'm teaching, anything like that, I always make sure I'm putting in 100% effort, okay? So you're not really doing yourself any favors if we're just kind of going through the motions because we practice how we play. So we want to make sure that we have that really strong technique when we're going through. So that's just something that a training method that I always use that I really like to focus on. So I hope that you guys can kind of incorporate that into your training as well. Okay, guys, well, if there's no more questions, it was an awesome training session. Yeah, for sure, John. Cross-training in martial arts is huge. It diversifies our training and makes you a more balanced martial artist. I couldn't agree with you more. Hope you had a good class, Gavin. You bet. Thanks, man. Always good to see you guys joining the classes. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna log out now. I'll probably be doing another YouTube live in the next little while, so I'll post it. Make sure it's you check out the GMAU YouTube page. Yeah, thanks, sir. I'd love for you to join the program. If you ever have any questions, feel free to get in touch with GMAU, all that kind of stuff. Love to have as many people training with us and share this throughout the world. Thanks, Gavin. I'll talk to you later. See you guys. Have a great day or night, depending where you are.